Hello and welcome to this video. What this video is going to be is all of the lowest rated books on my shelf. This is actually my personal lowest rating. This isn't gonna be like a Goodreads lowest rating. These are like all the books that were on my shelf that I read and hated, but I just left on my shelf for one reason or another. And so I'm out of space on my bookshelf, you guys, and I'm about to do like a big massive book unhaul because I'm completely like, look at this, look, it goes, oh, I am out of bookish room. I am out of room over here. So I went through my shelf and I pulled out some of the ones that I definitely know I did not enjoy, not gonna reread, did not like, and I'm just going to show them to you before I get rid of them and unhaul them for good. So yay! And I have no idea what the Goodreads rating on some of these are, but these are just my personal lowest rated books that I own. So most of these I actually either DNF'd or like really struggled to get to the end, and at the end I was like, why did I even struggle to get to the end? I should have just DNF'd this book. Anyway, so the first two I want to show you are, well actually the very first one is Dragon Quest by Danita K. Paul. I grabbed this at Barnes & Noble just on a whim because this cover is so stunningly beautiful. It just captured my imagination and my attention, and I just grabbed it on a whim, and then I brought it home, and then I started reading it, and I was like, oh wait, actually this is not the first book in a series. This is like a middle book in a series. So I was like, I gotta grab the first book. So like I ran back to Barnes & Noble, and I got Dragon Spell, which is, pretty sure this is book 1. But I started reading Dragon Spell. I got to page, let me see, 91, okay? I got to page 91 before I DNF'd it. I tried so hard to love this book because it's about dragons and about this girl. I think she becomes a dragon rider, and it just sounded so interesting, but like, oh my God, you guys, the writing style. So horrible. So horrible. It is so horrible. I couldn't do it. I wanted so bad to be able to like love this book and get to this book because this cover is so stunning, but I never got there. I never got to this book because I could not survive book 1. I couldn't do it. Like and like the characters don't make any sense. The world building doesn't make any sense. Like there was just, I got to almost page 100, okay? So I gave it a really solid shot, but there's so many things about this world in this book that just did not make sense, and I was just like, I just couldn't. So I DNF'd it, unfortunately. I might keep this one around just because the cover is so stunning, and every time I see it, I just love it so much. Like this girl and her dragon, and every time I see this cover and the clouds in the background, I'm just like, oh, I want to love that book so much. I just want to love this book, but I can't do it. I just can't do it. So there's those two. All right. The next one is Curio. Okay, guys, I actually read this entire book. I promise. I did not DNF it. I was so excited for this book when it came out. Like, I ran out and bought it, like, as soon as I heard about it, because this cover is so stunning. Like, this was a cover buy for me. And it was pitched as, like, a steampunk kind of portal fantasy, so where she, like, goes into this curio cabinet, the main character gets into this curio cabinet and then like ends up in this steampunk world that's like through this curio cabinet, kind of, I guess, like Narnia and the wardrobe, all except it's a curio cabinet and it's a steampunk world. And I was like, dude, I've got to read that. That's got to be so awesome. And the cover is so cool. This book had so much potential, and I was so excited to pick it up. But it just failed me so hardcore. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, it's just, the character was so unlikable, and she was so shallow, and the world was so crappily designed. Like, and the plot line like, what was the plot? Like, the plot line of this book is basically she goes into this curio cabinet and then she's trying to figure out how to get out of this curio cabinet, but then she's not actually trying to figure out anything. She's just stuck in this curio cabinet and things just kind of keep bouncing her around, and she's not actually motivated to do anything with her life. She's just kind of stuck in this cabinet. But then I'm confused as like why she went in the cabinet in the first place, because I don't even remember. And then I don't know. And then there was like something about finding a key to get out of the curio cabinet, but then she doesn't even find the key. She just ends up, I don't know, it was just so confusing and so confusing. And okay, here's the deal though. So the whole time, like, she has this boyfriend on the outside world. The whole time she's in the curio cabinet, this boyfriend is like searching for a way to get her out of this curio cabinet, and she's in the curio cabinet with another guy because she meets this other guy in the curio cabinet. And I'm just like, are you serious? I can't even tell you how frustrated this book made me and how frustrated this main character made me. And the writing style, I couldn't stand it either. And the world building was just crappy, and it wasn't a good book. I didn't like it. It was terrible. But the cover is gorgeous. I will admit, this cover is gorgeous, and the idea was fantastic. The idea of this book just still captures my imagination. Like a portal fantasy through a curio cabinet into a steampunk world, like heck yes. But the execution was pretty terrible. I didn't like this book. That's all I gotta say. Okay. So another book that I absolutely hated was The Girl with All the Gifts. And I know that a lot of people really loved this book because it got good ratings and reviews, which is why I went out and bought it. But it's just, I think it just wasn't what I was expecting it to be. When I heard the title, I thought, and it was in the science fiction section, I thought it was gonna be like some girl with maybe like psychic powers. It really reminded me of like maybe 11 from Stranger Things. I was like, oh wow, what if we get like a whole book from like somebody with some kind of psychokinetic powers, and she's like in this bunker and there's people doing these experiments on her, and just like, yes, this is gonna be so awesome. But it's really just a zombie book, and she's just a zombie, and she's like one of the only zombies that doesn't want to eat people, but sometimes she does want to eat people, and it's confusing, and I didn't like it. And she's not even the main character of this book. So like, she was at the beginning, and at the beginning, like, you're kind of trying to figure out what's the catch, and you don't really know what her special gifts are, her special powers. The book is like kind of about her, but it's like not even dual perspective. It's got like a whole bunch of different perspectives from people that are like guards at this bunker and teachers, some of her teachers, but like, it's not even about her. Like, they're kind of all in their own brain and dealing with their own situations in their own lives. And it was just so confusing and convoluted, and I was super disappointed in this book because I thought it was going to be about this girl with psychic powers who has to break out of this, bunker where these people are experimenting on her, or figure out how to rebel or something like that, and it just was not that. It was not like that, and I don't know. And then it wasn't even about her. Like, she's not even, like, she's absent from like the whole second half of the book, you guys. Like, the main character, like the girl with all the gifts, does not have a perspective for at least the whole second half of the book that you read from. It's like all these other characters, like these guard characters and these teacher characters, and I didn't care about them. I just did not care about their mental world and what's going on. They weren't even thinking about her. They were just thinking about their own worlds and how to survive their own lives, and I was just like, I don't care. Like, I just did not care. And the girl was kind of interesting, and I kind of cared about her a little bit at the beginning, but by the end of it, I was just like, I don't care. I don't care about any of these characters. I don't care about this plot line. This is all just stupid, and I'm done. So I didn't DNF it. I did finish it. I read the whole thing. I really wanted to DNF it so bad, but I forced myself through the end of this book. And I hated it. I hated every minute of it. So this next one might be a little controversial, but I'm going for it anyway because I absolutely hated this book. And this is The Empress by S.J. Kincaid. And I wanted to love this book so bad because it's book 2. It's the companion novel to The Diabolic, which The Empress is the companion novel to the Diabolic, also by S.J. Kincaid. And I freaking love The Diabolic. It was like one of my top favorite reads of the year that I read it in. It was like in my top 10. I just freaking love this book. It's science fiction. So it's about this girl who is a diabolic, and she has to figure out that she's actually human throughout the course of the book, because diabolics aren't technically supposed to be human. And it's so interesting, and I loved her self-discovery, and I just loved how she figured out who she was through the book. And it's very science fiction, like there's spaceships and space stations, and most of it takes place on a space station. And I freaking loved this book and all the politics in this book and the self-discovery and everything. I loved The Diabolic. It was amazing. But then this is book 2, and it was nothing like The Diabolic. Like, it was nothing. I don't know, you guys. I don't know what happened for The Empress, because I don't know what to tell you guys. I can't even tell you what the plot line was of this book. I have no idea. I have no clue. No clue. I don't know. I read the whole thing, and I can't tell you what the plot line is. That's how bad this book was, you guys. I have no idea what happened in this book. Yep. That's it. I could not understand the writing style. I could not understand the characters. Any of the characters. Even Nemesis, which is the main character. And I freaking loved Nemesis in The Diabolic. But in The Empress, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know what happened. So I'm not going to continue with the series, and I'm just going to pretend that The Diabolic was a standalone, because it was a freaking amazing standalone. And yeah, it's, I'm just gonna like, whenever I loan this book out, I'm just gonna scratch out like the last paragraph of this book and wrote, "And they lived happily ever after," like just across the last page, and call it done. I'm just gonna call it a book, because this was not, I don't even know what to say about this. This was horrible. Okay, so the very last book I'm going to show you guys right now. I did not like Finnegan. I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. I know. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people love this book. I know it's a very beloved book. Anyway, so this is Finnegan of the Rock by, I think, Melina Marchetta. Yeah, Melina Marchetta. And what was this book about? I read the whole thing. I did. I finished it. Did not DNF it. I thought about DNFing it a few times, but I didn't. I got through it. It's about this... So the main character's name is Finnegan, and he's in exile with his mentor, and they're kind of traipsing around, and they're looking for like one of the heirs to the throne of the city of their original kingdom. And basically it's their journey looking for this heir. And I mean, it sounds like it would be really interesting, but I just think it was the writing style that I just could not get into. I could not connect with Finnegan as a character. I could not connect with any of the characters, and I didn't like the writing style. Here's a piece of chapter 1. When it finally appeared in the distance, Finnegan wondered if it was some phantom half imagined in this soulless kingdom at the end of the world. There had always been talk that this land had been forsaken by the gods, yet perched at the top of the rocky outcrop, cloaked in a blue-gray mist, was proof of the contrary, the cloister of the goddess Lagrimari. And which, I mean, it's kind of understandable, but like I had to stop and think after each paragraph and be like, what just happened in that paragraph? Like, and like piece together all these words and all these terms, and I don't know. I just really struggled through this book. I will say this cover is gorgeous. and I was hoping that I might want to continue and read the next books, but I'm definitely not going to pick them up after reading this one. I think if the writing style had been a little bit easier to get into for me, this book wouldn't have been so bad, but I don't know. That's all I got with this one. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you for enduring all of my negative opinions all in one video. I appreciate it. I love you guys, and dude, in the comments below, tell me the worst book that you've ever read, because I would like to hear it. Anyway, bye. I'll see you in the next video.